All right, so news just dropped that Tyreek Hill has an oblique injury. We can talk about what that is. So first we have the transverse abdominis on the abdominal muscle layer. Then over that you have the rectus abdominis. Then you have the first layer of the obliques called the internal obliques, which attach the ribs over there. And then you have the external oblique, which is going to be layered on top of that. You'll see it in 1 second. So yeah, so that's the external oblique. But the thing is, the more commonly injured oblique muscle in NFL players and most other players is this internal oblique. And that's due to the reaching and rotating motion of catching really puts strain on those ribs and commonly causes an oblique. So we got to wonder about what the grade of the oblique was and how long Tyreek might be expected to be out. The good news is that, not the good news, there was a scuffle in practice today. Tyreek Hill went over and ripped another player out of the pile. And what that tells us is that it wasn't a high grade oblique strain. You can see right here, this is the mechanism of an oblique strain. High eccentric at rib attachments during high velocity rotations, which is different than how the external oblique gets strained, which is by a lot of heavy direct loading. So what's the projection for Tyreek Hill? So you probably can't read this very well, but that is the road for Tyreek Hill in my draft kit, and basically he is ranked around 24 on the average ranking list. He had a scapholunate surgery last season. He didn't miss any games off season. He had a screw removal, and now he currently has a preseason oblique. Before this, I had him graded as a mild risk for concern. So basically at that 24, I was saying you should drop him for about 0.5 to 1 rounds. This oblique strain really doesn't make a difference for me, and I'm still keeping him at a mild. The note section has that he missed less than typical time for that scapholunate injury. My concerns are to his health, and the positives are he was able to pull the player from the scrum with the active oblique injury. So with that being said, this injury doesn't move the needle for me. Kenneth Walker missed about 2 weeks last season for it. This is the off season. I would imagine Tyreek Hill should be back without issue, and this oblique isn't a concern.